Hi, folks. This is Online Learning in a Hurry, episode 8. And welcome along. We're still plugging through here. Everybody's making their adjustments. I'm getting used to working in my home office, getting used to being around my kids all the time, which frankly I kind of like, I have to be honest. Today I want to talk about the web as curriculum. It may sound weird, and curriculum is something that comes out of a textbook, or it's something you prepared ahead of time. And it's something often, and most often, that's built in and definitive from the beginning of the course. Like, so when you start the course, you know exactly what you want to deliver. And I mean, that just makes sense, right? That's what a course, like the actual course that you're following, that's what a course is. I'm going to challenge that. I want to take that apart a little bit and ask the question, given this opportunity that we have, ask the question whether or not maybe we should be doing things just a little bit differently. So let's assume for a second that you have 2.5 weeks left of the curriculum this term, or 2 weeks left. And you're thinking, well, I got 3 more chapters covered. My textbook, I've got the rest of the curriculum, the last 3 weeks that I designed and wrote myself, or whatever it is that I need to cover. I'm going to offer an alternative. What if you said, the thing that my students really need to be able to do once they get out into the profession, I don't care if they're going to be historians or engineers or mechanics, they're going to need to be able to go online and tell the difference between information that's good and information that's bad. And you may say, well, the internet is just so full of bad information that it's no place to go for anything. Maybe, but that doesn't stop the people that you work for asking you to go and find stuff out. So at some point, whether it is for your house because you're learning to make sourdough bread, or at work because somebody has asked you how to solve the current issue of the day, or figure out how to use Excel, or whatever it happens to be, you're going to need to be able to go onto the internet, sift through things, find the stuff you want, and then be able to use that to make decisions. So if you said inside of your last 2 weeks, or planning for the summer online, or planning, it could happen for the fall online, if you said, what I want you to be able to do is go online and find a good answer to this particular challenge. So what's going to happen is students are going to go out and they're going to find a wide range of answers. Some of them will be good, some of them will be bad. You're going to have to talk about it. You have to figure out, you're going to get all kinds of ridiculous information that's not pertinent to your actual field. And that's good. As long as you're using a formative assessment, as long as when the stuff comes in, you go, hey, that was written by somebody who's trying to take your money. What you need to be able to do is understand that this person is a professional in the field who is an expert, and this person is just somebody who is talking and has something to sell, right? Or you might say, hey, why don't you just go out and find out who the leaders are in this field? Why don't you just go and figure out who the 3 or 4 or 5 experts are who could comment on this subject? So how do you do that? Well, you might go to Google Scholar and look through and see who has the most citations. You might go on a straight Google search and put like a technical piece of information into Google search and see what you get back. You could do a lot of things. You could go and find someone's Twitter account, right? So for me, one of my particular passions is ancient history. And I managed to go in, listen to some courses on the great courses, and you can kind of tell the people the great courses choose, they're really good lecturers, at least. I found those lecturers. I went online. I found their Twitter accounts. I look at the people that they follow inside their field and the people who follow them. And suddenly I have some sense of who the experts are in Mesopotamian ancient history. Now, you may not care about ancient Mesopotamian history, but whatever your field is, those people do exist. And if you can connect your learners out with the people in your field who are actually doing the research, who are actually moving your field forward, who are actually doing incredible things in your field, suddenly that community of people in your field becomes the curriculum of the course that you're actually teaching. And you're giving them lifelong connections they're going to continue to grow from, they're going to continue to learn from, and maybe even become colleagues with as time goes forward. But again, it's a much more professional approach to how we think of what curriculum is. So if you think of curriculum as something that's pre-established and something that's decided upon before the students show up, that's fine. That's the majority of what we look at in higher ed. But I'm suggesting that you can open up a little window inside your course and have part of that be an exploratory process, right? Be a process that you can go ahead and allow students to find their own things, allow students to learn their own ways of making connections with other people in the field, and in a sense, build their own textbook. That's all I got for today. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week, and I will see you next time.